Hey all, Fizzban here and welcome back to my little investigations. We are going to continue. What? I complained about that in the last game where the lead game is before load game. I don't like that at all. Alright, I think we were about to speak to Eclair.
Oh, hi! I don't think I've seen you around before. Are you new here?
Yes. Well, no. Well, sort of. I travel a lot around Equestria. I haven't been in Ponyville for quite some time, so... mostly.
Well, welcome back then. My name is Twilight Sparkle. I'm Princess Celestia's student, but, well, in my day job, I take care of the town library too.
Oh, of course. I've heard of you. Word of your exploits do have a way of reaching quite far away, let me tell you.
Do they? Well, I'm really nothing to speak about, to be honest. But it's nice to make your acquaintance all the same. So, what do you do?
I'm a sculptor, or at least, that's what I most enjoy. Traveling helps me a lot with inspiration.
Oh, sculpting! Have you seen our town's fountain? You might like it.
Well, actually, I've seen it before. Or, well, I've done more than just seen it. I made it a while ago.
Wow, really? I had no idea. Well, you should feel proud of it. It's very well done.
Thank you. Although, there is one thing that catches my eye. Now that I think about it.
What's that?
That plaque. Was that added recently? It wasn't put there when I made it, at least. And I didn't make it for the mayor. The rich family commissioned the statue.
The voice changed a bit suddenly.
Wait, what? Boy. I wish this surprised me anymore.
Anyways, I was in the middle of pondering my next sculpture. It was very nice meeting you, Twilight Sparkle.
There are some weird, like, it looks like cracks in her face, which is a bit disturbing.
Likewise.
Alright, so... I'm not sure she... where was I going with that? I was going to... I'm not sure she's important for the investigation, but you never know.
This is one beautifully carved statue. I wonder what it's for. Oh, hey,
Decoration?
there's a dedication here. Erected in honor of the bravest, most upright public servant Ponyville has ever known. I'm getting the sense that this is talking about the mayor, and was written by the mayor.
Right, we were supposed to actually go and talk to Rarity, weren't we? I wonder if I should just talk to everyone. Probably should, but let's go back to Rarity for now. There was something I found out in the last episode that I'm struggling to remember now. That it was Scootaloo. We were trying to clear her name, I think.
Rarity, I think we should start with what happened last night.
Of course, darling. What would you like to know?
Could you describe exactly what happened and what you saw?
Well, I'm afraid there isn't much to tell. I was sleeping in my bedroom when suddenly I heard a shrill crash from downstairs. I went downstairs to investigate, and what did I find but my house overturned and ransacked, my prized jewel gone, and my beloved opal essence missing as well. Oh, Opal! Mama's coming soon!
Perhaps I should ask more specifically about what was stolen. And that was everything there is to speak of?
I think we've gone through this dialogue before.
No, nothing, I'm afraid. So sorry, Twilight.
That sounded awfully...
Can we present evidence
told you everything I know about that, Twilight. Oh, but while we're talking clothing, why don't I give you some fashion advice? The next season will be here before you know it, and one must always look one's best when it arrives. Let me just grab a selection from my brand new fashion line and...
Rarity? There's a little thing that I'm kind of in the middle of at the moment.
Oh, right. But we must talk about this when you're done, Twilight.
Note to self. Find longer-term excuse before finding the true blue.
I like Twilight's expression to that. It's pretty good. Oh, we had a testimony.
Why, thank you, darling. But I'm afraid that I haven't a clue what I'd use it for. Terribly sorry, but I simply cannot accept this gift.
I wasn't
But I... No. Did you see Skulu?
Rarity, I hate to say it, but I don't think you're telling me the whole truth here.
Why, darling, whatever do you mean? I dare say I resent your accusation, my dear.
Alright then, let's look at this a different way. How quickly did you come downstairs after you thought something was wrong?
Immediately, of course, but I don't see what relevance that has to anything.
I don't have all the answers here, but neither does Rarity. Maybe I can get her to talk, if I make it seem like I know more than I really do. Rarity, I spoke to Applebloom earlier and learned that she witnessed Scootaloo crashing through your window last night. I also learned that Scootaloo stayed for roughly a minute before leaving the boutique.
How do you know she stayed for roughly a minute? Did Applebloom mention that?
Now, if you came downstairs immediately after hearing the crash, don't you think you might have seen something?
I mean, that is... I suppose you do have a point.
Thanks, Celestia. It worked.
Wait, that got unlocked. Alright, let's try that again.
You are correct, Twilight. I did see Scootaloo last night. I did not know what to make of it, and meant to protect her. I do apologize for not being forthright about it.
I understand, Rarity, but if that investigation team from Canterlot comes here and finds any of that out, what do you think their conclusion is going to be?
You do have a point, I must say.
All right, time to get to the bottom of this.
Alright, let's do the last night interrogation we just unlocked.
All right, Rarity. Please tell me everything you know about what you saw last night. I can't help if I don't have all the details.
Of course, Twilight. I shall do my best. I finished my work for yesterday earlier than expected, so I had wanted to get my beauty sleep. I had been somewhat deprived, given that a certain client had made several last-minute orders.
Just a minute. Which certain client was this, out of curiosity?
Who else but Sapphire Shores? She gives me such good business. But I don't want to gossip, of course, but my goodness, does that man love jewels, Twilight? Although, I suppose her request was what got me searching for gems, which was what caused me to find True Blue in the first place. It wasn't so bad, all things told. Well, as soon as I get True Blue back, that is. Hint, hint.
We're working on it.
So, anyway, you had just gone to sleep?
I had finally fallen into a blissful, restful sleep when, all of a sudden, I awoke to the sound of a loud crash coming from the first floor. Well, I was just scared out of my wits at that moment, so I made great haste downstairs to see what in Celestia's name was going on.
Just a minute. If there were potentially dangerous thieves in your home, why would you have gone downstairs so quickly? Weren't you worried for your safety?
I suppose that I did not even consider the possibility that I might have been in danger, now that you mention it. But really, Twilight, that's rather beside the point, is it not? What I found there was awful, terrible, horrible! The first floor of my boutique, ransacked, ruined, torn apart!
What? Oh, what is a man to do?
That's some very dramatic sounds.
Just a minute. Wow, you seem pretty upset. I'm sorry.
How is that pressing for info?
Of course I'm upset! All that time put into organization and sorting and everything like that. Ruined! Just ruined!
That's what's worrying you.
Now I'm going to have to put all that work into sorting the first floor all over again.
That's what has her upset? I know I can be a bit obsessive about organization, but sheesh.
Exactly.
Worse still, True Blue, my prized jewel, was gone! Snatched from my very home! And worst of all, the very first thing I saw when I arrived was an orange and purple pony darting out my door!
Just a minute. Rarity, this is incredibly important. Please tell me exactly what it was you saw here. Was there any chance, any at all, that what you saw wasn't Scootaloo?
Well, I'm afraid that it all went by so fast that I didn't get a very good look. I had to turn on the lights before I could see anything at all, and by that time, it had very nearly left. All I can say is that it was definitely something moving, and that I clearly saw the colors orange and purple.
But what about her cape? You didn't see that at all?
All I saw was her backside. Perhaps the cape had gotten wrapped around her front when she crashed through the window. I don't know, Twilight. If that does not describe Scootaloo, then who would it describe?
Is she really the only pony who fits that description? Think, Twilight, think!
And if that was Scootaloo that I saw, then, well... I cannot explain what I saw any other way than to say that a Scootaloo purposely broke into my boutique to steal True Blue. What other explanation could there be?
Just a minute. Is that really the only interpretation there is for what happened?
Of course it isn't.
I'm afraid I can't think of any other, Twilight. I do truly apologize. Surely you can see why I kept this from you, Twilight. This isn't Scootaloo at all. Yet, there she was.
I know this can't be right. It just can't, but is there anything wrong with what she's saying?
I finished my work for yesterday earlier than expected, so I had wanted to get my beauty sleep. I had been somewhat deprived, given that a certain client had made several last-minute orders.
Alright, so now we're going through everything again, which means we have to find out where to present a certain kind of evidence. We do have the testimony, which we didn't last time.
I had finally...
Right, let me try to...
But I found... Worse?
An orange and purple pony darting out the door. What if we ask about the... Oh, that's Apple Bloom's cape. What if we ask about that?
Rarity, what you said contradicts this bit of evidence.
No. I don't believe it does, Twilight.
Oh, my mistake.
Worse still!
And we're still at that. Okay, so we can still present. What about the testimony? Does that do anything?
Rarity.
No.
Nope.
Oh.
Worse still!
Horse noises. Let's see. Profile, Scootaloo. Alright.
Rarity.
No.
Oh.
Worse still!
Alright, so that's not the right spot. What other explanation could there be? Playing Times Square last night and things were going pretty well. Took a break during which time me and Sweetie Belle hung out by the bridge. I know where Scootaloo was at that time or what she was up to. Alright, that's pretty vague. Let's try anyways.
Rarity.
No.
Oh.
Sure.
Yeah, there she was,
I
or
noticed-
was she?
I finished.
Oh, dagnabbit. Do I know for sure I have the right piece of evidence? Or do I need to end the interrogation and go out and ask for more?
Rarity.
No.
Oh,
I finished.
Does it say anything about the timing? Took a break, during which time Sweet Will hung up a bridge. And it was last night. I don't know. Might as well try.
Rarity.
No.
Oh,
I had fun. What I found? Worse.
Let's end the interrogation. Exit for now. Let's try asking a little bit more around town. Right, we spoke to Eclair. We spoke to Applebloom as well. We haven't spoken to whoever this pony is, Abby Sprocket.
Hello. My name is Twilight Sparkle. Are you new in town? I don't think I've ever seen you before.
Well, duh! I'm a time traveler. Name's Abby Sprocket.
But of course you would be a time traveler.
What now? I've seen weird introductions before, but sheesh.
A time traveler. But my time machine broke down, so now I'm kinda stuck here. For now, at least. So I'm trying to make a living as fast as I can. Nice place you got here, although a little rustic, if I may say so.
How does that work? That looks incredibly fragile with those wing things.
Breathe, Twilight. Breathe. So, how exactly are you a time traveler? Time travel spells are incredibly high level. I mean, I only managed to go back in time a week, and even then I only had less than a minute!
Plus, she's not a unicorn.
Oh, Twilight, you need to think outside the box. You can know how the impossible becomes possible. Or something like that. My mentor was a bit of a coot. But I guess what I'm trying to say is that I built a time machine, and, well, now I'm here.
Uh-huh. And I'm secretly a robot. With mysterious powers.
No, Twilight, that's Sweetie Bot.
Really? Huh. I didn't think they had robots in this age. Hold on, let me get some tools and open you up and have a look at how you work.
Of course.
Ah! No, I was joking! Sheesh.
I like her expression, it is very smug. I kind of like that.
Huh. You had me convinced with how robotic you were acting.
Even ponies from the future don't give me a break.
Right. I don't think she told us anything too useful. What is this crowd all about?
What's this crowd all about? I didn't know there was an event today.
Ouch! Just hammered my finger into the table.
They're having an apple eating contest!
I just asked the very question Twilight asked.
Yeah, Applejack's way in the lead.
Okay, I'll be honest, that sounds a bit creepy. It's like cultists chanting.
Whoa, if she eats all those apples, she might get a wicked bad tummy ache.
And who is she competing against? Right, who was sweeps?
Are you cleaning a dirt road?
How does that even work? How do you clean a dirt road?
No, I'm giving it a massage because it has cramps.
I don't believe you, good sir.
I just meant it was kind of odd.
Says the guy who hired me to do this. He wanted every surface around his house free of dirt and dust, including the road.
That pony must really dislike dirt.
And I've been out here for the past 5 hours. Every time it starts looking clean, a breeze or a crowd comes by, forcing me to start all over.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Don't be. He's paying me by the hour.
Reminds me a bit of that NPC in Undertale. That is a janitor, but kind of makes a mess himself. So he's just stuck in an endless loop of sweeping. I want to talk to Sweetie Belle. Maybe she can give me a hint.
Town Hall, where every pony that's any pony has business. Where the greatest among us tackle tough challenges and lead the path to the future. Where our political heroes put aside their differences and make tough compromises for a better tomorrow.
Okay.
Or perhaps the place where the mayor plays solitaire while pretending to be interested in what you're saying. Either works.
Yes. I'm gonna go for the latter. Oh, not quite. We can't go into the town hall, okay. Alright, if we can't go anywhere else, and we've talked to everyone there is
Where am I going?
Okay, we can't go there. And we've talked to everyone there is to talk to, I think. Then I am kind of convinced at this point that I'm just needing to go back to the interrogation and select the right choices. So we can't talk to any more, and we can't... Maybe we can investigate some more, but I haven't really found anything. I want to talk to Sweetie Belle, because maybe she could give us some details about what happened that night. Right, so... They were on the bridge here. Oh, there must be some way. Right, I'm just gonna try to go through this,
All right, Rarity. Please tell me.
Of course, Twilight. I finished my work.
Okay, let's present evidence.
Rarity. Oh.
I finished my...
How about... What is that even?
Rarity. Oh.
I finished...
I'm just trying different stuff, because I actually have no idea.
Rarity. Oh.
I finished my...
Rarity. Oh.
I finished my...
Alright, so
I had
none of my
finally
evidence
fallen into a blissful rest.
has
Rarity. What
any
you
impact
said
on the first bit of the
contradicts this bit of evidence.
conversation.
Oh.
I had fun.
Rarity. Oh.
I had fun. Well, I was just scared out of my wits
Oh,
at that moment, so I made...
Rarity. Oh.
Well,
What
Rarity.
Um,
Oh.
doesn't make. Maybe I should just try to make sense of this rather than just spamming. But I already tried. What about the testimony?
Rarity.
what
Oh.
I found there was worst.
Rarity. Oh.
Worse still.
Rarity.
Worse
Oh.
still.
Come on. No, it doesn't really make sense, does it?
Oh. Rarity. Oh. Wait a second.
Oh,
Rarity. I know that this is going to sound entirely irrelevant, but I think I have a lead on what might have happened to Opalescence. At least, if not True Blue.
Oh, do tell, darling. Although I do admit that I must agree, in that I can't see how this is relevant to what we're discussing here.
If they can't see how it's relevant, how am I supposed to know it's relevant?
I found some white hair right near the tracks outside the window, and judging from their length and color, I don't think there's anyone else they could have come from other than Opalescence.
Okay, yes, fair enough.
As a result, I think we can reasonably conclude that if those tire marks are from Scootaloo, then it's entirely likely that she crashed through your window completely by accident, not purposefully.
Why?
She was probably trying to avoid crashing into Opal, which may well have spooked Opal into running away.
Really? But then, that makes things all the more peculiar. Because it is still the fact that she must have stolen True Blue, no?
Let me ask a very important question before answering that.
Do you think Opal? Why?
Is there by any chance another way in or out of the boutique? Any way that some thief might have left other than the front door?
No, I'm afraid not. The front door was the only way some pony could leave. And since I already saw Scootaloo using the front door, I'm not sure where you're going with this.
No, I'm not either.
I think I'm on the wrong track here. Think,
We are.
Twilight, think!
Way on the wrong track.
Alright, but let me ask another very important question.
Alright.
Do you, by any chance, keep your door locked when you go to sleep at night?
Why, yes, of course I do. But I don't see what that has to do with anything.
One follow-up question then. Do you also bring an opal from outside when you go to bed?
Of course! The poor dear, I couldn't leave her to fend for herself at night.
Then I think we've established something even more important than the accidental break-in.
Twilight, I must ask that you be more direct, as I am not following one word you're saying.
Accidental break-in.
Alright, let's think about the facts of the case thus far. We know that you heard a crash and came downstairs to see Scootaloo quickly leaving your boutique. We can reasonably conclude that she probably was responsible for the broken window. However, we also know that the broken window was likely an accident, and that she had veered off course with her scooter because she was avoiding Opal, who was immediately in front of her path. You just told me, though, that you bring an Opal and lock your door at night, so that raises perhaps the most interesting question of all here. Namely, what was Opal doing outside in the first place?
But she would have gotten out when Scootaloo opened the door, would she not?
That's not possible. Think about it. When was it that she veered to avoid Opal?
Right before she crashed through the window.
I trust you're beginning to see my point. if indeed your door had been locked and had remained that way until Scootaloo left, there would have been no way Opal would have been outside in the first place.
But that would mean that some pony else was in my boutique as well?
Exactly. I think we can reasonably conclude at this point that there at least is the possibility that someone else had entered your boutique before Scootaloo. And that they're the ones who opened the door so that Opal could get out. The question now, though, is who that would be. And that's just what I'm going to find out.
Alright. Updated: Scootaloo, one of the Cutie Crusaders, fled the scene of the crime at the time it was carried out yesterday. However, could not have been the culprit. Someone else had entered before her.
Well, good luck with that.
Thanks.
Are you still doubting me after all this, Rarity?
Well, it's just hard to see you as a detective.
Because you need a hat, Twy.
Tell me, who was right about Nightmare Moon?
You, darling, but...
And who solved the mystery of the
You again, but I really...
And who recognized that Princess Cadence had been replaced by a fake?
Once again, you, but you see...
So, why does no pony ever listen to me?
Well, I suppose it's that eventually you must be due for getting something wrong.
How does that logic even work?
I could explain the many reasons that argument doesn't hold any water, but by the time I even got to Bray's theorem, the Canterlot investigative team would have gotten here and convicted Fluttershy of something like running an illegal bear fighting club.
Okay.
Probably best to drop the subject now, while I have the chance. Sure. That, makes sense, I guess. Anyways, I'd best be off. More investigating and such like. Thanks for the help, Rarity.
Anytime, my dear.
Where do I go from here, though? It feels like I've talked to just about every pony. Other than Scootaloo, of course. Wait, Scootaloo. Scootaloo, that's it! I haven't talked to all the Cutie Mark Crusaders yet. And if Applebloom is involved, then the others probably are as well. Now, if I recall correctly, I can get to their clubhouse via the western exit of the town square. It's worth a shot, at any rate.
Why didn't you do that? I want to talk to Sweetie Belle, even though it was mostly unnecessary. Now go to Sweet Apple Acres. Alright, exit. Let's do a save, new save. Busy 3. Alright, yeah, we're gonna wrap up the episode here. I can't remember where I interrupted the conversation, but the gist of it, or the conclusion of it, was that it's a timing issue. Where we agree that everything Rarity tells us is true, so she goes in at night, locks the door, and she has opalescence inside the house. But since the door is locked, then opalescence can't get out, and she was out, so someone had to have gone in through the door. And since opalescence was out, then Scootaloo came, tried to avoid her, crashed in the window, and ran out the front door. So now we just need to figure out who it was. I mean, we already know because we saw the cutscene, but we have to help Twilight figure it out, I guess. So yeah, that's where we are at the moment. So thank you for watching, see you in the next episode. Fizzban out.